Question number 12, Poto Williams.
Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Disability Issues and reads, did she or her office contact the Minister for Broadcasting or her office to correct their joint press release of 9th August 2016 regarding captioning televised coverage of the Olympics as requested by the National Foundation for the Deaf? If not, why not?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Last week's joint press release was about recognising and celebrating the fact that captioning on parliamentary television will mean that more New Zealanders can access democracy. Minister Adams and I reviewed the press release and agreed that it was factually correct, and we reject that there's any suggestion that the government is taking credit for the Foundation's work. I'm very happy to acknowledge that the National Foundation for the Deaf has underwritten captioning for the Rio Olympics for $200,000.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Poto Williams.
How much funding did her government give to fund captioning at the Olympics?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. The Olympics funding is going to be done by the Foundation for the Deaf, and Attitude Television is doing captioning for the Paralympics.
Point of order. Point of order.
The best way forward is the member could just repeat that question.
How much funding did her government give to fund captioning at the Olympics?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr Speaker, as I've already said, they will be covered by private organisations, but New Zealand On Air funds captioning services of up to $2.8 million a year, and that's 265 hours each week and 35 hours of auto-description. 100% of prime time content on TV New Zealand Challenge is now captioned, and the addition of captioning from Prime Television in November 2015 shows that more captioning is available for all New Zealanders.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Poto Williams.
Can she confirm that the National Foundation for the Deaf paid $200,000 to provide captioning for the Olympics?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr Speaker, yes, and I appreciate what they have done, and I salute them.
Supplementary. Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Poto Williams.
Did the National Foundation for the Deaf ask her to correct her claim about government funding of captioning at the Olympics?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr Speaker, yes, but I stand by my original statement that the press release is factually correct, and we reject the suggestion that the government is taking credit for the Foundation's work. We are always pleased to support more captioning options.
Supplementary. Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Poto Williams.
Will she now apologise to the National Foundation for the Deaf after being caught taking credit for their funding?
The Honourable Nikki Wagner.
Mr Speaker, I stand by my original statement that the press release is factually incorrect. It's unfortunate that the quote by Minister Adams has been misinterpreted. We are very supportive of all efforts to enhance captioning accessibility. That's why we put the press release out last week to congratulate the Office of the Clerk for increasing captioning.
Order. We move now to an urgent question from the Honourable Annette King, which I have accepted under Standing Order 388.